Take a ride down memory lane, where the chrome still shines and the gears remain. From Morris Minors to Mondeos, those wheels of the past. We had one of those, oh yes we did. From Sunday drive to trips as kids. Hop right in, relive the glow, touch the past. We had one of those. We had one of those. We had one of those. We had one of those.
Welcome to the National Motor Museum. Yes, we're at Beaulieu, and I'm going to reintroduce you to 10 wonderful old friends, and I'm pretty sure you won't have seen them for a long, long time. If you're old enough to remember life in the 1960s and you think family cars, how many of you had remembered this, the wonderful Hillman Super Minx?
Here is a car that is entirely new, a brilliant successor to a long line which proved their worth, a car designed to stay in the lead for years to come.
This charming piece of archive is from the launch of the previous Hillman Minx. You may recognise the voice of the narrator. It's Raymond Baxter, the first presenter of the long-running TV series Tomorrow's World. Many of the original features and style choices from this vehicle could still be seen in the later Super Minx. Oh, this is really going to bring back memories for me. Right. Yes. So, Patrick, now I might get a little bit emotional over this one because my dad had one of these, the Hillman Super Minx. I've got great memories of going out on picnics with the family in this car.
It's one of the forgotten makes of the British motor industry, isn't it? Hillman was part of the mighty Rootes group, which in the 1960s rivaled Ford and the British Motor Corporation as the, one of the big manufacturers in Britain.
Hundreds of thousands of miles of vigorous prototype testing all over the world were built into this new design, to say nothing of the Rootes Group's store of years of priceless experience. But to show you what we mean, two cars were picked at random from the production line, run in and taken first of all to the British Army's Alpine course at Bagshot in Surrey.
Now, if you think you recognise this car but don't believe it's a Hillman, then there could be a very good reason for that.
There was this phenomena in the British motor industry at the time called badge engineering, where essentially mainly British Motor Corporation and Hillman would make the same car but give it several different badges. So the Hillman Super Minx, for example, was also available as the Humber Super Sceptre. My granddad had a Humber Sceptre, so I remember riding around in the back of a Humber Sceptre. But it was marketing. So the Hillman was sort of the more run-of-the-mill model. The Humber was the more luxurious model. So it was aspirational marketing.
Yeah, clever. It's like the Morris Oxford and the Austin Cambridge. Basically, it's the same car, but whose side were you on?
Yeah, it appeals to different loyalties. Yes.
A good family car, though. This solid.
Good, solid, reliable family car. Not particularly exciting performance, not by modern standards certainly, but for the roads of the day, yeah, really good.
And once again, a very simple layout for the dashboard. I mean, this will never rival the E-Type Jag, will it? But we do like these very clicky switches. They're fun.
They're lovely tactile things, aren't they?
Yeah. Why is that so much fun? Why is there so much satisfaction in doing this?
I don't know. Is it a guy thing? I don't know.
It's probably is.
For the driver, this is a car that gives the fullest consideration. Slipping easily into the driving position, he finds all controls readily to hand. Handbrake, seat adjustment, a door that closes nicely, fingertip gear change, and a combined ignition and starter switch.
But very basic dash, and as you say, the dials, this is by no means a performance model, so we don't need a rev counter. So, speedo, fuel gauge, temperature gauge, and that's basically it. I think you've got we do have water temperature and ammeter on there, but very, very simple, certainly by comparison with most modern cars. A little bit of a sort of a fake walnut effect as well, just that just slight touch of luxury.
Slight touch of luxury. But we have these like horizontal traffic lights here, but they're red, amber and blue. So I'm guessing blue is full beam.
Yeah, so you've got full beam.
Red must be overheating.
You're going to have a heater, you're going to have a charging light, and your little arrows there by pointing both ways, one light for the indicator.
Right, so the amber's the charging light, just in case your batteries, your alternator's not working, and you need to have it looked at. Right, just great memories and very comfortable.
Now, in case you suspect we've shown you any trick photography, which we haven't, how about this? Front wheels well in the air. We don't recommend it on the way to the office, but we think it makes a point.
The handbrake is on this side. You have to remember that. It's not in the middle. And that's because this car originally had a bench seat. Now it's got two seats that just as well be a bench. Let's see how it goes.
The world rolls by, we barely blink in her arms. And that Super Minx.
How many people's mums and dads were driving E-Type Jags and Rolls-Royce Silver Shadows and cars like that? Most of our parents and grandparents were driving cars just like this. I never wanted a Hillman, but there's just something really decent about a Hillman Super Minx.
Chrome it shines, the leather gleams. We chase the dust, we chase our dreams. She drives with style, and when she winks, I lose my heart to her Super Minx.
Talking of emotional responses, for me personally, seeing that Hillman Super Minx in, we had one of those, is really gratifying, and because we here at the museum, we've worked with a youth group locally called Mechanics for a good number of years, and I actually did own that car once, but donated it to the youth group for their young men and women to restore. So it was great that they then repaid that kindness by lending it back to the exhibition, and without them it would never have returned to the road, so it's great to see visitors enjoying it.
Bred from success and born to lead, the new Hillman Minx drives into the future, truly the finest of them all.
We've mentioned emotions today. This car's very emotional for me because my dad had one of these, and when I was 10 years old I would say to him, "Dad, can I go and play in the car? Sit in the front seat, just make believe I was driving." And he would say, "Son, you can, but don't turn the lights on because you'll flatten my battery." But I was allowed to turn the radio on, and I have very clear memories of listening to Alan Fluff Freeman on Pick of the Pops every Sunday night when I was doing my make-believe driving. And I remember one Sunday I turned the radio on and I heard a record that blew my mind, and that was Mark Bolan and T-Rex and Metal Guru. So my career as a disc jockey and a broadcaster started in the front seat of a 1960s Hillman Minx, which my dad had second hand in the early 70s.
You could get this car badged as a Humber Sceptre. In fact, my granddad had a Humber Sceptre just like this. It was dark red, and I can remember sitting in the back of this seat being quite frustrated because I wanted to see where we were going, and I was only little and I couldn't see out the front.
You needed to be as high as our nodding dog.
Yo, we had one of those.